Let's talk about salary negotiations. You know, that conversation that can feel like one of the most high-stakes moments in your entire career. But what if I told you that a few simple shifts in language could turn all that stress into major success? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. Let's dive in.
So, be honest, does just thinking about this talk make your stomach churn a little? If it does, you are so not alone. There's a ton on the line, right? Your income, your sense of being valued, and hey, your whole future with the company. It's a big deal. And the words you choose, they really, really matter. You know that fear of saying the absolute wrong thing is completely real, and it often pushes us to use weak, kind of passive language that can literally cost us thousands of dollars. But this isn't just about the money. When you get right down to it, a salary negotiation is how you communicate your own worth. The words you pick send this incredibly powerful signal about your confidence, how prepared you are, and exactly what you're bringing to the table. Okay, so how do we fix this? The answer isn't about being more aggressive or demanding. Nope, it's about a simple, powerful shift from a passive mindset to a professional one. And it all, I mean all, comes down to the words you use. And here it is. This is basically our roadmap. On the left, you've got those common passive phrases we all fall back on, and on the right, the powerful professional alternatives. We're going to walk through every single one of these shifts so you are totally ready for your next negotiation. I want you to think of these phrases as your personal negotiation toolkit. We've actually grouped them by the different stages of the conversation, so you'll know exactly which tool to pull out and when. Ready? Let's get started. First up, we're setting your anchor. This is all about how you tick off the conversation. The goal here is to establish your value and your expectations right from the get-go without giving away all your power. And you can see the difference immediately, right? Saying I'm flexible sounds nice, but it can also scream, I haven't done my homework. But when you say, based on my research, I'm targeting a salary range, bam! You've just anchored the whole conversation in facts and data. You're not just some candidate anymore. You're a prepared professional who knows their market value. Okay, so they've made an offer. How you respond in this moment is absolutely critical. You want to open the door for a real discussion, not accidentally slam it shut. Here's exactly how to do that. The magic trick here is to take your personal feelings out of the equation and focus on objective facts. The salary seems low is about how you feel. But asking, how can we bring this closer to market standards? Well, that turns it into a collaborative problem you can solve together. You're inviting them to work with you, using data as your guide, not just opinions. All right, this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where you make your case. You've opened the door for discussion, and now you need to confidently justify why you're worth what you're asking for, all without sounding needy or greedy. And this is just a perfect illustration of that crucial pivot from your needs to their needs. Saying, I really need this job, that puts you in a position of weakness. Instead, you've got to connect your compensation directly to the value you are going to deliver to them. A phrase like, I believe my track record justifies, is so powerful. It's not about being greedy. It's about a fair exchange of value based on your proven results. We're in the final stretch now. Time to bring it home. You've made your case, and now it's time to finalize all the little details. The goal here is to keep that collaborative, professional tone going right up to the very end. Just look at the language here. Bump it up a little. It's so weak and vague. But asking about flexibility to increase the base to X, now that is specific and professional. And framing it as, what options do we have to make this work? That reinforces that you're on the same team, working together to find a win-win. It's confident, not confrontational. That's the key. So, we've looked at all the specific phrases, the what to say. Now let's zoom out for a second and look at the core principles, the why they work, that makes them so incredibly effective. When you boil it all down, these are the fundamentals. First, always anchor your arguments in hard, objective market data. It just makes it about facts, not feelings. Second, shift the focus from what you need to the value you provide. This lines up your goals with the company's goals. Third, frame the whole thing as a problem-solving session. You're working with them, not against them. And finally, you communicate your proven track record with this calm, professional confidence. That, my friends, is the secret sauce. You know, if you remember just one phrase from all of this, please make it this one. It just perfectly sums up everything we've talked about. It's confident, it's based on your value, it's professional, and it opens the door for discussion. It is a powerhouse of a sentence. So there you have it. The toolkit is yours, the principles are clear. Now it's really up to you. Which of these powerful phrases are you going to use to own your value in your next negotiation? Now go get what you're worth.